Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into something so many of you have asked about, really unlocking your English fluency and that all-important confidence.
Yeah, it's a big one for a lot of learners.
It really is. And I think we all know that feeling, right? Learning a new language, you can feel like you're, standing at the bottom of this huge mountain.
Definitely. Looking up at the top and it just seems so far away.
Exactly. All those grammar rules, the vocabulary, and maybe that little voice in your head worrying about making mistakes. It can feel overwhelming. But our mission today, for you listening, is to give you the right tools and, just as importantly, the right mindset to make that climb feel, well, not just doable, but actually kind of exciting. We're building on what others have learned. We've looked at some really fascinating stuff, research, expert interviews, stories from learners just like you.
Yeah, some really powerful insights came out of that.
And we've tried to boil it all down into, practical techniques, things you can actually use. Okay, let's unpack this. Mastering English isn't just about grammar, is it? It feels like it's more about courage and connecting with people.
That's spot on. Often, learners get so tangled up in the, let's say, the technical bits,
Right.
that they miss the psychological foundation. Our sources really hammered this home.
That's such a good point. And it leads us right into our first big topic, that mindset shift. Because really, before you even think about verbs or nouns, you have to think about how you think about learning. And what really jumped out from the research is that confidence isn't about being perfect.
No, absolutely not.
It's more about believing you can learn, you can get better, and knowing it's, well, a journey.
A process, yeah, not just hitting some imaginary finish line.
Exactly. So one technique that came up again and again, and it's got some real science behind it, is visualization. So before you even start a conversation, maybe just take a second, close your eyes, and picture yourself speaking English. Easily. Confidently. Imagine handling questions, getting your ideas across, actually connecting.
It sounds a bit woo-woo maybe, but it's not just wishful thinking.
No, it's like a mental warm-up, right? You're prepping your brain, making the real thing feel less scary.
Concisely. You're familiarizing your brain with the scenario in a positive way.
Another great tip we found, focus on your strengths. It's so easy to get hung up on what you can't do yet.
Oh, absolutely. We tend to zoom in on the gaps.
But what are you good at? Maybe you know a lot of words. Or you're great at understanding when people speak.
Right. Maybe your listening comprehension is strong.
Yeah. Identify those things. Lean into them. Let that success build your overall confidence.
It's about building momentum from what's already working.
And the last one for this section, and it's so important, be kind to yourself.
Yes, please.
Learning a language is definitely a marathon, not a quick sprint. Some days will feel amazing.
Everything clicks.
And other days, honestly, it'll feel like wading through mud.
We've all been there.
On those tough days, try not to beat yourself up. Acknowledge it's hard, give yourself a break, and just keep going. That resilience is key.
It really is. And what's fascinating here is the cognitive science behind this. Visualization, like you said, it's not just feeling good. It engages the prefrontal cortex, the planning part of your brain. You're literally building pathways.
You're paving the road, neurologically speaking.
Exactly. And embracing imperfection, being kind to yourself, that creates psychological safety. If mistakes are just feedback, not failures,
then you're not afraid to try things.
Precisely. You avoid that paralysis, that fear of opening your mouth, which stops so many people.
That makes perfect sense. Building the confidence muscle first. Okay, so once we've got that mindset piece sort of settled, what are the practical, maybe more advanced things we can do to get our English really flowing? Let's talk fluency techniques.
Let's do it.
So one really effective method the sources pointed to is chunking.
Chunking. Yes. Big one.
Instead of trying to build sentences one tiny word at a time, which feels, frankly, really slow.
And unnatural.
Yeah. You learn common phrases or expressions as whole units, like ready-made blocks.
Prepackaged phrases, almost.
Right. So instead of thinking, I am going to, you just learned, I'm going.
Yeah.
As one sound.
Like native speakers often do. It smooths everything out.
It does. And it reduces the mental effort, doesn't it? Frees you up to think about what you want to say.
Exactly. Less cognitive load. More natural flow.
Okay, another powerful one. Storytelling.
Ooh, I like this one.
And this isn't just for writers. It's about telling stories in English. Your day, a movie you saw, something you made up.
Doesn't have to be epic, just a narrative.
Exactly, because telling a story naturally makes you use different words, link sentences, use different tenses.
It forces you to connect ideas, yeah.
It really makes you think on your feet, moving beyond just reciting memorized phrases.
And it engages memory differently, too, weaving language into a context.
And the third one? Active listening. Which sounds simple, but it's more than just hearing.
Much more. It's deep listening.
It means really noticing how someone speaks. Not just the words, but their pronunciation, the melody of their voice intonation.
The rhythm, the pauses, even body language if you can see them.
Right. By really tuning into those things, you start to absorb them subconsciously. It feeds back into your own speaking.
It absolutely does. You start to internalize the natural sounds and rhythms of the language.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, these techniques, they shift you, don't they? From just studying English to actually using it.
Precisely. Chunking mirrors how native speakers actually talk. We rely heavily on these preformed chunks.
Right. We don't build every sentence from scratch.
No way. And storytelling, well, that's fundamental to being human. Creating narratives in a new language wires it deeper into your brain, connects it to emotion and meaning.
And we actually have some great examples from the people in our sources showing how this works in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's Maria. She had this big presentation at work in English, and she was terrified.
Understandable.
But she practiced, and she specifically used visualization. She pictured herself speaking clearly, confidently, connecting with everyone.
So she did the mental rehearsal.
She did. And afterwards, she said she felt so proud, not just for doing it, but for facing that fear. It shows how that mindset work pays off.
That's a fantastic example. Real-world application.
Then there was Kenji. He was describing his favorite movie, The Shawshank Redemption.
Great movie.
He said something like, it's about a man who ends up in prison, wrongly convicted, but he never gives up hope. I highly recommend it.
Ah, I hear them.
Yeah. Chunks. Steve Sloss ends up, never gives up, highly recommend. He just flowed. It wasn't word. It sounded natural.
That makes a huge difference to the flow and probably his confidence in saying it.
Definitely. It shows these aren't just theories. They really change how you sound and feel. Okay, so let's shift gears slightly. Let's talk about sound. Something often overlooked, but so vital for confidence and being understood. Pronunciation and intonation.
Crucial. Absolutely crucial. Clear pronunciation makes communication so much smoother.
And it definitely boosts your confidence when you know people understand you easily.
For sure. And this is an area where I've seen people make huge progress. Sarah, a pronunciation coach on our sources, had some great tips.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, a really common one is the he sound, F and the.
Ah, yes, the tricky the.
Many learners swap it for a D or F sound. Sarah's advice is very physical.
Right.
Practice putting your tongue between your teeth.
Okay. Gently.
Gently, yeah, and blow air. And think that through.
It feels weird at first if you're not used to it.
It does. But getting that right makes a massive difference to clarity.
Okay, what else?
Vowel sounds. English has a lot of vowel sounds, right? More than many other languages.
It does seem like it sometimes.
The key is ear training. Use online dictionaries or sites to listen to native speakers say words. Then record yourself saying the same word.
And compare. Brutal, but effective.
It is. That comparison helps you hear the difference and adjust your own pronunciation.
Makes sense.
And then stress and intonation. This is huge. English is stress-timed.
Meaning
the rhythm comes from stressing certain syllables or words, not giving each syllable equal time like in some other languages.
Right, it's not robotic. It has a kind of music to it.
Exactly. That rise and fall, that emphasis carries meaning. Listen to how native speakers do it. It conveys emotion, highlights key info. Trying to incorporate that makes you sound much more natural and easier to follow.
Yeah.
And this raises an important question. How perfect does pronunciation need to be?
Good question. Do you need to sound exactly like a native speaker?
Right. And Sarah's take, and I agree, is that it's not about eliminating your accent entirely. It's about clarity and confidence. Can people understand you easily? Do you feel confident speaking? That's the goal.
That feels much more achievable, doesn't it?
Right.
Clarity, not necessarily perfection.
Absolutely.
And speaking of practice, Sarah gave us a fun tongue twister to try. Ready? Try saying this. The six sheeps sick.
Wow. Okay. That's a workout for the mouth.
It is. Go on, you listening? Give it a whirl. It's tough. It's meant to be tricky, but it just shows pronunciation takes practice. Don't get discouraged.
Treat it like a fun challenge.
Exactly. Okay, let's pull back now. Look at the bigger picture. Some sort of fundamental linguistic ideas that can really change how you approach this whole thing.
Yeah, our sources included insights from Dr. Lee, a linguist, and his perspective was really liberating. His main point was embrace the messiness.
Embrace the messiness. I like that.
Yeah. He argued that language isn't this neat set of rules you just memorize perfectly. It's alive, it's dynamic, it changes.
Right.
Trying to get every single rule right before you speak often just freezes people up.
The perfectionism trap again.
Exactly. Think about how kids learn their first language. They babble, they make mistakes, they experiment constantly. That messiness is the learning process.
So making mistakes is actually good.
It's essential. It's feedback. Dr. Lee basically said, the more you jump in, experiment, and just use the language, messy as it might be, the more fluent you become. Interaction over perfection.
That feels like a weight lifted.
It should. And his other big point ties into what you said earlier. Language is ultimately about connection.
Right, communication.
Its real job isn't grammar tests. It's sharing ideas, building relationships. What's fascinating here is how often learners get caught up in the rules, forgetting the ultimate goal of human connection through language.
We focus on the mechanics, not the purpose.
Precisely. If you shift your focus from, am I saying this right, to, am I connecting with this person? Fluency often follows more naturally. It changes your motivation.
From performance to relationship. I love that. It makes the why so much clearer.
Doesn't it?
Okay, so with that bigger perspective in mind, let's get practical again. What about the toolkit? What resources can people use to keep growing?
Yeah, the sources mention a bunch of great tools. First, those online platforms everyone knows.
Like Duolingo, Babbel.
Exactly. Rosetta Stone, too. They're great for structured lessons, building vocabulary, often have pronunciation practice now, too. Good for daily habits.
Okay, solid foundation builders.
Then something really valuable, language exchange partners.
Finding someone to practice with.
Yeah, platforms like HelloTalk or Tandem, they connect you with native English speakers who are learning your language.
So it's a trade. You help them, they help you.
Exactly. Low pressure, real conversation practice. And you often make friends too, which goes right back to Dr. Lee's point about connection.
That sounds brilliant. Real interaction.
And finally, the gold standard, if possible, immersion.
Actually being in an English-speaking environment.
Right. Traveling is amazing for progress. But even if you can't travel, look for local chances. Join clubs, volunteer, go to events, talk to people in shops.
Find ways to use English in real life, wherever you are.
Any authentic interaction helps solidify the learning. So what does this all mean? It means you have a wealth of resources out there, no matter your situation.
That's really empowering to know. Okay, so let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot in this deep dive into English fluency and confidence.
He certainly had.
From that crucial mindset shift, believing you can improve, being kind to yourself,
Foundational.
to practical techniques like chunking and storytelling to make your speech flow.
Getting that natural sound.
Sharpening your pronunciation for clarity, not perfection.
Yes.
And finally, embracing the wonderful messiness of language and focusing on connection. Remember, it's a journey. Enjoy the process.
Celebrate the small wins along the way.
Definitely. We talked about those common fears, mistakes, grammar, overwhelm, but hopefully these strategies give you clear ways forward.
Actionable steps.
Like Maria said, I'm going to keep practicing, keep visualizing, and keep being kind to myself.
Simple but powerful commitment.
In Kenji. I'm going to focus on chunking, storytelling, and active listening. I feel much more confident now.
See? It works.
It really does. You can start these things today.
And that brings me to a final thought, maybe a question for you to mull over.
Okay.
If language really is about connection, as Dr. Lee suggests, how can you personally, intentionally create more small opportunities in your everyday life to use English specifically to build those connections?
That's interesting. Not just practicing, but connecting.
Yeah, even tiny interactions. How could those moments become bridges for you, boosting both your confidence and your fluency over time?
That's a fantastic challenge to leave everyone with. Thank you. The world really is waiting to hear your voice. Go out there and speak English with confidence.